Hello guys, yes, it will be on YouTube. Hello everyone. So today we had a day off because of the bank holidays, so I didn't trade. Gonna wait just a little bit more and we will continue in a few. Nicolaj, hello, hello. I would like to pay attention on marking out zones if you could. Yes, yes, yes. We're gonna do a lot of things. Just gonna wait for a bit and then continue. Drawing zones, when to take a trade, when to not take a trade. what to pay attention to some details that I usually do before taking a trade, and a few other things. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate, do any questions. I'm gonna be here answering them. Yes. So let me start a simulation here. I'm gonna go from the previous year, 2019, because we don't have to go too far. We want fresh setups that happened lately, so no need to go 2 or 3 years. So and the leverage 500. What do you guys suggest? What balance should I use? $100. Okay. I'm gonna start $100. And yeah, I'm gonna do GJ because, as you know, GJ is one of my favorite pairs. Somebody said 5K. Okay, I'm doing 100 because it's more realistic, you know. I think everyone has $100 to put in an account, so I'm gonna start with 100 just to show you guys that we can make money with 100. Well, now everyone wants different balance, but this time let's do it with 100, and we're gonna see next time maybe use a different one. So as you guys know, I trade 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily. Most of the time 1 hour and 4 hour. Daily doesn't really comes to our trading, but most of our trades are 1 hour and 4 hour. It's very rare that we take a daily break and retest. It happens very rare. 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily. Change some colors here. Okay. Let me try another one. I'm gonna leave this. Okay, I'm gonna let this run for a bit just to create some history that we can start to draw zones and everything. Then we can continue. So guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take only good setups, you know, because we don't need to have doubts about our trade when we take a trade. We don't need doubts about it. So we're only gonna choose, let's say, A setups. Any questions you have, guys, don't hesitate. I'll be here to answer. Okay, so let's say we're going to use 1 to 3% risk for every trade. That's what I do usually on real trading. So I'm going to use also here 1 to 3% per risk per trade. And I'll let you know how I'm going to manage my positions and everything. Do you trade only London and Asian session? No. I usually trade London and New York session because Asian session is midnight here. So I don't really trade Asian session. Very, very rare. Sometimes maybe when I stay too late, but usually only London and New York session. What time frame is this? This is 1 hour. And as I said before, I'm going to trade 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily. So 1 hour and 4 hour most of the time. Because for me, I don't need lower time frames. Just the way I trade doesn't include looking at lower time frames. There's nothing wrong using lower time frames, just for me, there's no need. On the 1 hour and 4 hour when you trade, you need more patience because sometimes you need to wait maybe too long for a trade, but at the end it pays off. Never disappoints. Okay, now I'm gonna start to slow down and see what we have. Okay, so one zone that I see here is I'm gonna put a line here. So I'm drawing this support or resistance here based on the rejections that we had earlier. And as you can see, we had some rejections here, and here. So this candle here closed above, but we didn't get that deep retest that we wanted, because if we took the trade here, we have this range that if price would push lower, we entered here, we would be in a bigger drawdown than we would like. So for me, most of the time, I want to take the trades where candles are closed. In this case, the retest didn't come that lower that we wanted. So as you can see also on the left, we had this small break and retest here, which I wouldn't take because not a very strong close below. So for me, a strong close is at least 10 pips above a support or resistance level, and this was not that strong. Also, we had rejections here. This candle closed above also a small retest here. So we can count this as a support level. And for here to the upside, I see a small zone here, but I don't think would be enough for me to take a trade unless we have some history on the left that confirms that we have a zone here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna wait. Still gonna wait for price to form some kind of consolidation box so I can take a trade. Okay, so what we said earlier, that we have a zone here, we just getting more confirmations that this is a good support level. Why? Because we are having rejections again at the same level that we had rejections before. So this just tells us that yes, we have a pretty strong level here. So what we're gonna need is a breakout. We need a breakout to the downside, then a retest for more continuation to the downside. So this is what I expect, and the next zone looks here. So to break this level, there's easy gonna go to the next level, which is around, yeah, I think 40 pips or 60 pips range, which is a lot actually, because we only need 20 pips based on how I trade. So let's see if we're gonna break this before, and then if we break this, we're gonna think about taking a trade. But I never take a trade if we don't have a breakout. So the breakout is always my confirmation when I take a trade. Okay, let's play this. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next candle because that's how I'm gonna know. Okay, so we have another rejection. So for me, the more rejections we have, it just gets better. The zone, it just becomes stronger for me, and whenever I'm gonna have the breakout, I'm gonna feel more comfortable taking that trade. We have another rejection, which is a good sign, because once we break this, I'm gonna expect a move, a big move. Usually when we have big consolidation boxes and then we have a break, we're always going to have a big move after that. Somehow price is going to explode through that zone. Okay, so once we break this, this is the next level it should come. And another thing here. So we have this support here and we have this here. If you look at it, it's a 40 pip range. Even here, we can take a trade between these two zones. We can wait for the same thing here also, just like we can wait for this here. In this range, we can have two trades. And yeah, so this is why I like trading GJ, because it moves zone to zone and it pays a lot and moves fast. You don't need to wait too much for GJ to move after the breakout. Why don't you buy? It looks like a retest on the zone. No, I can't buy now because look at where it came from. That's like how many pips? That's 140 pips or 120 pips. You're coming from another zone, and you can count this as a retest because already made a retest here one time, and here made a retest and rejected. This is 30 pip move or more. So you can't count this as a retest anymore. Also, we had zones before, so can take this as a retest. Okay, another rejection. That's great. This is what I want. Okay, so we have a breakout now. So this candle closed 20 pips below the support, right? Now we're going to need a small retrace or a retest for continuation to the downside. But as you can see now, we are on a 20 pip range from where candles are closed. So that's the best entry. So we're going to try to enter half on a 10 pips range between where candles are closed and the wicks. From the wicks in a 10 pip range to where candles are closed. If it doesn't come, not going to take the trade. Okay, let's speed this a bit because we can't wait too long. You can use pending orders if you want, but I don't recommend using pending orders just because if I'm on the screen watching the charts, there's no need. I can do it manually. But I think pending orders are for people who can't stay in front of the charts, so maybe they are working with something else. So it's good to set pendings only if you're not in front of charts. So whenever price comes at your zone, it's gonna activate your positions. But for me, there's no need if I'm watching the charts. And do it manually, it's a lot better because you don't know what's going to happen at that time. If you're not in front of charts, it might be some news or some events that can affect the price to go in the opposite, and you don't know anything about it. So being in front of charts is a lot better because you're going to stay updated if you have any news, so you can just skip that trade. Whenever there is some news, I stay alert and decide then if I want to take the trade or not. Let's see. Just hope that we get a retest because it would be a shame if we don't. This looks very easy to continue down. Yeah, there's no retest. So one of the things that you guys have to know is that once price makes the move, so if the price makes the move before making the retest, I'm not going to take that anymore unless there's going to be a 4-hour retest. But on the 1 hour, for example, if this candle here now comes all the way up to make the retest, I don't take it because already made a 20 pip move. Then this can be like a rejection of support and go all the way up through this resistance. That's why I want my retest to be right away without making a move to the downside. Yeah, looks like there's no retest. Let's see. If we break this support now, we can ride it to the next zone here. And okay, so this candle closed above, so that means that we didn't break the support. And I'm gonna go to the next. Okay, next chart. So let's take a look here. We broke this level, but the breakout is too weak. The breakout is too weak, and we are very close to the level. Take a look to the 4-hour. 4-hour is at support. So when support and resistance match up on 1-hour and 4-hour, it's a lot better, because whenever you have a breakout, you're gonna be a lot more, you know, comfortable taking that trade. And this candle closed below, I mean, but it's too weak. If I take this trade, it's going to be a low risk than usual. It's going to be a low risk than usual. So let me see. And we also need a small retrace here. Don't even need a retrace here, but I'm going to enter a small one here. I'm going to use a 20 pip stop loss always. And some of you know my rules. 20 pips always is my stop. And now we are in a 5 pip range. So if it comes a bit higher, I'm gonna take another one. So the reason is that we have a breakout. It closed above these candles, but it's very weak. So I'm gonna use half of the risk that I usually use, let's say, just because the breakout is weak. And from what I can see on the left, we have the next zone here at 137.500, which is also psychological level, if we can say. So next zone looks like it's going to be here. And based on previous times, we can see that price can easily go and fill this range to the downside. But what we need is 20 pips first. That's my first take profit always. 20 pips, then we can think about what happens next. Yeah, let's see. We're gonna keep up with the pips here. Let's see. We have 5 pips, 7 pips, so still here. I'm gonna need 20 pips first before thinking of closing or letting this run more. If we close below this support like this, it just gets even better, because then we have a very clean breakout, better than the previous candle. So I don't even think about closing this trade without giving me at least 20 pips. Let's see, it's only half an hour passed on this candle, so if it takes a bit long, you don't have to worry about that, because maybe it can stay there for 50 minutes and then work in and then play out in 10 minutes, in the last 10 minutes, maybe even in the last 5 minutes. That happened to me last week, I think, on Friday. I had a trade on EuroCAD which took about 50 minutes to move. It was at my entry for 50 minutes, then on the last 10 minutes pushed like 30 pips. Okay, perfect. We have 23 pips here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close half. No, I think I'm gonna close everything, even though here I used not the whole risk that I would use usually. So I'm gonna close everything here and see what happens. The reason is because we have a minor zone here. We have this minor zone that concerns me. So this is the only reason I'm closing everything. We have a minor zone here at 138, which I think maybe can be a problem, but for me now I'm done. So unless we break this support to the downside here, then maybe I would think for another trade, but now there's no trade, unless maybe we break this resistance, come back again or something like that. Okay, so looks like we had some kind of news here. Yeah, looks like we had some kind of news. So we have news, and see, this candle closed above this resistance that we previously were waiting for a break. Now, since the news looks like they were good, the momentum here is very strong. So what we can do is we just go along with the news. Now we can wait for retest here. We can wait for retest here and enter longs. That's what makes sense now. We got rejected from support, came up, broke this zone, closed above. So first we got rejected from this support here, which if you look at it, pretty strong. Why this level is very strong? Just look at the price, 137.600, 139.200. So that's how many pips? 50 pips, 250. So that's more than 200 pips, which means every time price came here, made a big rejection. That means this is a strong level. The same happened here. Now the same is happening here. Maybe it was helped also from the news. Now this candle here closed above this resistance here, and you can see a lot of rejections that we had here. Now we can wait for retest here and continuation to the upside, which we need around 20 pips at least in this trade, and I think it can be reached very easy on GJ. Now we're gonna wait for retest here and we're gonna enter. Okay, so what win rate do you have on this setup? This setup has at least an 80% win rate. So in my group, let's say every 10 trades, I have 1 or 2 losses. Okay, let's wait for a retest here. Gonna enter in a 5 pip range here, 230 maybe. Why? Because look at where candles are closed and look at here. So we need to enter in a 5 pip range at least, because price maybe won't do that perfect retest. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm not gonna use the risk one because it doesn't. Okay. Let's see now how it goes. Yeah, it really has a good risk, good win rate. It doesn't disappoint you. It's very simple and effective. Okay, so we're gonna need a 20 pip move here at least. Then we can see if we can leave a runner or not. Let's see. This is a classic break and retest. Just one thing that isn't classic is the break from the news, which I usually try to skip because sometimes a breakout from the news can result in a fake out. Look good here, so just going with momentum and we'll see how it goes. Okay, perfect. Now we have 20 pips. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna close one position here and I'm gonna put the other position at break even. So I'll wait for this to go at least 40 pips, so twice as this. Then I'm gonna close another trade, the last runner here. So stop loss is at break even. Whatever happens here, you already secured half of the profit. So usually what I do is I secure 80%. But since I only open 2 positions here, I'm gonna close one and leave one. But usually what I do is 80% close, 20% leave it run. It can go 100 pips, maybe stop you at break even, but the more it goes, it's just gonna be a bonus for you. See, close me at break even. So that doesn't matter anymore. We go through, oh my god, look at this push. Yeah, it just closed me and went all the way up. So we're done here for now. Let's go to the next day. It looks like we had another try here and got rejected. For now, there's no trade here. We have this zone here that I think it's respecting a bit based on the other times that price touched this. So we have the first one, then we had this closed above, which the next candle denied it and closed below, made a retest and continuation. So this looks like a classic fake out here. Then we had another push from this support, and this candle here closed very weak above, but this looked like a retest, which went all the way up again. Then we had a rejection. This one closed below, made a retest, continuation. Now here, price didn't respect that level. Maybe you can see something like this based on the left here, what we had earlier. So I don't know, not that convincing, but I don't know what to say. Maybe I would took a trade here, but I don't know. Let's see how lower it comes. Maybe I'll take a trade if it looks like it's gonna push up before doing a retrace. Fill the wick. Nothing here. Wow, that's a lot of consolidation. Look at this, so many candles. I don't see anything good here unless we okay, it looks like we have a trade here. Looks like we have a trade. So what I'm thinking here is this level here. Just because look at all these candles. They all rejected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles that rejected. Also on the left you have another 6 candles that rejected the same level. This must be respected. But we need to see how close it's gonna come because we can't enter a trade here too early. Let's see how far it comes so we can take a trade here. It needs to come at least at this wick, so in a 5 pips range. I can take a trade here. Okay, perfect. I think my mic is very good for now. Okay, I just increased the volume. Should be good. So right now I'm gonna sell 20 pips stop loss. Usually I would like my stop loss to be above the breakout candle around here, but that's only 10 pips and 20 pips is more secure. The reason is because if price closed above, then there's going to need to make a retest before continuation. right? So if it closes above and make a retest, then we can exit when it makes that retest. So we have some room here so our stop loss doesn't get hit before making that retest to continue up. So that's why I like to have a 20 pip stop loss. And I think this is the best entry you can find on a break and retest setup. So again, this is the breakout candle. Now this is the retest, and I expect continuation to the downside, at least 20 pips here. So this was all based on this support that was formed before. Then we had a breakout and then a retest. Now we are entering. So the confirmation for me at this point is the breakout candle. So there are other ways that you can enter. You can wait for rejections for more confirmations, but for me this is enough. This is enough confirmation. Also, another thing that makes me very comfortable taking this is the way this candle closed. The way this candle closed is very good. Left no wick below, which for me means that this is gonna come below this and make at least a wick here before, let's say, continuing up. But at least has to come below this and make a wick here below this. Just from my experience, I've seen this many times happening. Once a candle like this closes this strong, there's gonna be a continuation below that for sure. Most of the times. Probability here is very high to continue. And I have no doubts. It's gonna be easy 20 pips here. This is a classic break and retest. I have zero doubts about this. I would take this all day long without even thinking twice. Do you have a MyFX book? No, I don't. Okay, let's see, we have 15 pips. Perfection. This is perfection. Like I said, it's gonna make a wick below this. This is a classic break and retest. I've seen this happening every single day for months and years maybe, but this is a classic break and retest, and it went perfect. I'm gonna close everything because we have this kind of minor support here, which I wouldn't be comfortable holding a trade while price is hitting the support. So I'm just gonna close everything because I already got my pips, so there's no need for me to hold this longer. Okay, so we're gonna go to this again. Just look at this again. We got rejected. No, so this got rejected from the zone that we talked about. We have a lot of zones on GJ. GJ has a zone every 20 pips. GJ has a zone every 20 pips. You can scalp GJ all day. Okay, let's see. So another break to the upside now on the same level. Do you use the same strategy on US30 and other in? No, not for now. I'm not trading indexes right now. I was thinking to start, but I think there's no need. We have plenty of other pairs that we can trade, so there's no need trading US30. I mean, maybe sometimes just for fun when you have a good setup, but I have to see and make some testing on US30 if break and retest works, because US30 also there are a lot of news and things that affect US30, so you need to have a lot of information about fundamentals too. So what we did earlier, guys, we waited for the breakout and entered on the retest. So what we did is we wait for this breakout, entered on the retest. Now what we have here is the same thing, just the other direction. We have now a bullish breakout. Now we're going to need a retest and continuation at least to this next zone here, last high that made. So I'm going to wait for a retest here and continuation to the upside. We're going to enter in the same way we did on the sells. So here is the same setup, just different direction. Let's wait now and see if it comes for a breakout. We need a retest at least at 140.250. Okay, perfect. This is where candles are closed. So this is the best entry you can find here. I'm just entering higher lots every time I win a trade. Gonna try to double this at least. Favorite pairs for break and retest. Favorite pairs, you are looking at it now. GJ. GJ is my favorite pair. GJ, I think there are other pairs like UJ. What else? USD CAD. I have a very good win rate on USD CAD, and I've seen from my past trades, USD CAD is very accurate on respect levels. Usually trade GJ, GU, UJ, Euro, JPY, GCAD, these major pairs mostly. Why these major pairs? Because when you trade major pairs, you have more information about them. It's not the same trading USD Mexican pesos or GJ, because for GJ you have news, you have everything you need to know about it, so you're always, most of the time, prepared for it. Okay, GJ pushing a bit lower. Let's see if it gets close below, then we can think what we can do about this trade. Here we're having some rejection. Let's see. If this closes above again, we're gonna have a big push to the upside. That seems very realistic to happen in this case. Just like the previous sells, here also have no dops. Even though the breakout wasn't the perfect one like the previous sells that we had, but basically the same setup. On the same level also, which is great. If sells worked out on this level, buy is gonna work out also. Why not? It's a good zone. You need 20 pips at least. Taking a bit time, but there's no need to rush. Lots of people get, stressed when it doesn't go straight away. And I always say on my group when I send a trade, those who are worrying too much, they are risking too much. If you use good risk, there's no need to worry. You lose a trade, you make it at the other time. So the next time you make that loss, 20 pips or losing 1% is nothing. You can make it easy. What session do you usually trade with this method? Like I said before, I trade London and New York. But this, just because I trade only London and New York doesn't mean that it doesn't work on Asian session. It works on all session. It's not meant to work only on a certain session. Let's see. So as we can see, we're closed above. Now this is another confirmation for us because it closed above this level. That means we made the retest, closed above. Now it should continue up and fill this range to the upside. Just the regular thing. From a zone to the next zone. Okay, it went even higher than 20 pips, so we have 23 pips, and I think it's gonna fill this range. There's no need even to close this, but I'm gonna close most of my positions. Yeah, I'm gonna leave these two run. Let's see. Maybe we break this and make a new high and go even more than this. So okay, looks like price came down because I got stopped at break even. Yeah, perfect trade. Nothing complicated here. Made a breakout, a retest, continuation. Gonna go through this to the next day and see what happens. Okay, so now I'm gonna wait for some kind of support to form or consolidation before taking a trade. because we want to be sure when to take a trade. Okay, it looks like we created a resistance here. Why am I drawing the zone here? Just because look at these candles. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, around 7 candles that got rejected from this level. Also, we have now this support here, which we can wait for a breakout also. Even though now price is still bullish and I would say should continue up more likely. But let's see. Maybe we're gonna break the support first. I'm gonna go through the next one. Okay, we have 2 other rejections. That's a good sign that we're creating a good support here. Okay, looks like it's gonna push up. Now we have another rejection. See, this candle didn't close above. That means there's no breakout yet. And it means it's respecting this level. So we're gonna wait for a breakout. Okay, another rejection. That's great too. Okay, right. See, now it's confirmed even more that we have a good resistance. So price now is consolidating. This is a consolidation box and we're gonna need a breakout from this support here. A breakout from this consolidation. And it's one of my favorite setups to trade. We need a breakout. Okay, we came again, didn't manage to close above. Okay, now we have another candle, but see, this candle is very weak close above. I wouldn't take this. I need a better close above, would be a better confirmation, just like this. Now, what I would do usually is I wouldn't take a trade if it gets rejected from resistance, right? But it didn't quite come here at the next resistance. So since it didn't come quite around here, I'm going to take the retest because we had a very big consolidation here and a lot of rejections. I think it should respect when it comes for a retest. If it does come, always, because you never know it's going to come for retest. Just have to wait. Yeah, let's see. Looks like it's gonna take a bit of time to come for retest, but doesn't matter. It's gonna be a nice trade also, and one of my favorites. Okay, we're coming closer to the 1 hour candle that's gonna close, so it would be good to not come in the last minute. It wouldn't be that comfortable taking a retest close to when 1 hour closes. Was the risk reward in break and retest 1-to-1? I used 20 pip stop loss and a 20 pip take profit. Maybe for someone doesn't make sense, but it works for me. And it works very nice. Look guys, you always have to backtest a strategy and see how it works. Because maybe for someone it can work and for someone it doesn't. It just doesn't suit your way of trading maybe. There are people that can stay in front of charts like me, so they need some kind of other strategy that gonna swing a trade. So scalping doesn't work for everyone, and it's nothing wrong there. So you just have to backtest everything you think that can work for you and choose the most effective one and the simplest one. So for me, this is like the simplest way of trading. I'm just gonna wait for a bit lower to come so I can take a trade here. I don't want to enter too early here, because then I would be in a bigger drawdown than expected. So I'm gonna wait for a little closer, at least in a 5 pip break range. Okay, just a little bit more. I'm gonna enter here. Yeah, let's see now. And as you know, the same reason as before. We have the breakout candle and we have the retest now currently. A break and retest of this resistance that now turns into support. We had this big consolidation and now needs to continue up again. Whenever we have a big consolidation box, I always expect a big move after the breakout. So there's no difference here. I want a big move also here. Great. We need at least 20 pips. Some people think that you need to a 50 or 60 or 100 pip move to be a good trader. There's no need of that. You can be a good trader catching only 20 pips per trade. It just depends on how you manage the risk and how accurate is your way of trading. Let's see. I have a rejection here, which is a good sign that it's respecting this support level. This candle goes bullish. Gonna be serious problems for the sellers, not for the buyers. It's a classic break and retest. There's no signs of going bearish here. Okay, we have 10 pips. Let's see if we can get 20 pips. See, GJ is very good to trade. Very good, easy, and it moves fast. It's nothing waiting half an hour or an hour for a trade. It's nothing actually. 1 hour is nothing. You can even set take profit and stop loss and not watch the trade at all if you want. Either it's gonna hit take profit or stop loss. There's no doubt about that. But here is gonna they're gonna hit take profit. Probability here is too high. No signs for sells here, which is a great thing. Okay, GJ, let's go. It's taking a bit. We have another 30 minutes until the candle close, so I'm gonna speed this up a bit. Would you say a break and retest setup happens every day on the same session? Man, you have break and retest setups every day on lots of pairs. Sometimes you have a break and retest on 5 or 6 pairs at the same time. I mean, there's not a certain time when it happens, because that doesn't really matter for me. Break and retest can happen anytime. Maybe London open, maybe London close. It doesn't really matter. Just you have to be a bit careful when you take it. You have to look for other details. If price gets rejected from another zone, then comes for retest, it's a risky trade. And chances of being a fake out are higher than usual. But if on the left you have no traffic on the left, and you have a good break and a retest, then you're gonna know that that trade has high probability of continuation that way. Okay, perfect. We have 20 pips. I'm gonna close 3, leave 1 at break even, and wait for price to break the next zone here, something like this, and continuation. Gonna wait for that now. Perfect trade, like usual. Did you use break and retest on 200 to 12k? Yes, of course I use break and retest. I don't trade anything else on only break and retest. But I traded gold most of because gold pays a lot. But gold also can cause big losses. So you have to be very careful trading gold. I actually haven't traded gold in 3 months. I haven't traded gold in 3 months, I think. It's been a long time, but I have plenty other pairs, so there's no need to worry about gold. So having nothing to the left is what people call clean traffic. Not necessarily. Having nothing on the left means having no zone on the left. Maybe it can be nothing on the left. Maybe it can be just candles, bullish candles, let's say, without a zone. It just means that there's no zone on the left that can cause you problems of continuation to that direction. That's what clean traffic means. Not having any zones that can cause price going in that direction. Okay, let's see here. Price is pushing down. Let's see if we get a break, maybe to the downside. Who knows? I'm gonna speed a bit this because now we have a risk-free trade running. You are welcome. Let's see. We have another close above. Price needs to push up here because no signs of going down here. See, we got close bullish now. This should continue up now. Or not yet. Okay, great. It's pushing up. Now, it didn't close above this. Even though it created a small zone here, some kind of small resistance here, but I'm gonna wait for this to break, because if price comes from this resistance to make a retest here, that would be risky for me because we're rejecting a resistance here. So for me, I'm just gonna wait for this zone to break. Weak close. I'm not gonna take this. Too weak. We need a bigger close above. Okay, This is an indecision candle. Not above, not below. I don't trust it. I need a better close. Same again. No trade for me. Now it closed below. But still I'm not gonna take any trades here, because we have this minor zone here. So I'm gonna wait just a close above here. So if price breaks above these also, that would be even better now. Looks like we have a close above, but again, I'm gonna wait for a close above all this. See, another indecision. Okay, now we have a clean breakout. Let's wait for a retest now. Now we need to enter around here, because this is a breakout candle, and if price comes below the breakout candle, that wouldn't be very comfortable for me. I'm gonna take a buy here. Went full margin because this might be the last trade. This is a classic break and retest also. There's no doubts about this. Rejections, rejections, rejections. This candle came and closed above all these, which means we have a breakout, came for retest here, and now needs to continue up. Let's see. We need 20 pips as usual at least. Oh, I totally forgot the first positions. We have 85 pips running. I'm gonna leave this run more because there's high chance that price gonna push another 50 pips maybe, based on what I see here. See, the runner can go maybe 100 pips, maybe it can close at break even, just like it happened before that. It stopped me at break even before going further. So sometimes it can stop at you at break even, sometimes it will go 100 pips or 200 pips. You never know how far it can go. Okay, perfect. We're having signs of continuation to the upside. Let's see. Okay, we have 25 pips. Perfection. This is great. I'm gonna close the runner here, 100 pips, and I'm gonna close, and I'm gonna leave to run. Let's see how far this can go. I think I'm gonna take another last trade, and that's it for today. Perfect, perfect. This is perfect. 68 pips, 70 pips. You see, every time a breakout happens, we're having at least a 50 pips move in that direction. Crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna close these two also. No need to leave run more. Now let's see what we have. Go to a okay. So we have another consolidation box. Gonna wait for retest and continuation. We need, okay, came very fast, almost missed it. This has been an amazing simulation session. Thanks for answering questions. You are welcome. I'm glad that I could help you in any way. I think we missed this. I think we missed this. Wow. I'm very pissed that I missed this. Look at this, was perfection. Forgot that I let this go too fast. Now I missed the trade. Anyway, let's go to the 4 hour. Oh, looks like on the 4 hour. Yeah, it can come lower. Maybe if it comes lower, we'll take it another time. I missed the second retest also. Let's see if it comes lower. I would take a trade where candles are closed, because these wicks were early entries. Need price to come lower. Do you also use 20 pips on the 4 hour break and retest? Yes, I always use 20 pips. 1 hour or 4 hour doesn't matter. Even if it's on the 4 hour, if the entry is good, 20 pips can be enough. Thank you, John. Thank you a lot. I'm very pleased to help you guys. I hope this will help you in your trading, whatever kind of strategy you trade. I hope this can be helpful for you. We can always improve, guys. We can always improve. Even everyone can improve every day. Every day we learn new things. We see something we didn't see the other day, and that's great. Okay, I'm gonna enter here. Let's see. So this was the breakout candle. Now this retest didn't quite come where we wanted. It was a big range. Now we're entering the second retest. How long it took you to learn this strategy? I think it took me a year maybe until I decided what strategy should I take, should I use. I think it took me a year, but it's been a few years that I trade now. I started in 2016. So it took me a year. Tried lots of different strategies until I find this one. And then I just stick to this. It's been more than 2 years that I trade break and retest. Or 3 maybe. I've been doing the same thing every single day. When you master a thing, it's great. You just stick to it and you just upgrade it. You see how it works on different situations. Would you say identifying solid support and resistance levels is very important with this strategy? Yes, of course it is. It's very important how you draw zones because it can have impact in your entry, because lots of people get in an entry earlier than usual. Then you can get in big drawdown if you get an early entry. This is why I waited for price to come all the way to the best price can be, just because I didn't want to get in early. Because if I enter early, a 20 pip stop loss is not going to be enough for me. I'm going to have to use a bigger stop loss. But if I have a good entry, 20 pips, it's going to be perfect for me. Like I said, you can enter in a 5 pips range, even 10, sometimes maybe in different pairs, depends on the setup, but 5 pips would be good. Wouldn't be a very early entry in a 5 pips range. Wouldn't play a big role. If you would have taken the first retest, would you have taken the second retest again? It depends. It depends. If it comes the second retest on the 4 hour, yes, I would take it. But and in this case, on the first time, it didn't quite come at support here at the best level. So realize that second time we should have a rejection at least 20 pips, just like we have now. So after the first time it makes the retest, it always becomes risky than the first time. The more it tries, the riskier it gets, because every time it tries to break that, there's higher possibility that's gonna go through that level. Let's see. So we're at 23 pips. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go at break even and leave this run. What I want here is I want this to be reached now. I want this to fill this range, and since we have this big consolidation here, price needs to continue up. Momentum is good. We have a good rejection here. This candle went above the previous candle, which means we're gonna have a push above here. Maybe fill this range or continuation even more, but filling this range would be enough. Greg, build a small account really quickly. Yeah, it's not that quick though. We passed a lot of days here. Just we passed them faster than in real life. I think we started when this is 25th January, which means we traded almost 20 days. So in 20 days we built this percentage here. Actually it's 16 days. Because we started at 9th of January, so it's 25th January. Didn't happen that quick. Yeah, it's a very good percentage. You're 400% up. Okay, we came really close to the level, but I'm still gonna hold until it comes at 144.200 at least. When you put a trade, do you consider fees, commissions, spread of pair? Yeah, I do. I do. Most of the time, price is gonna go more than 20 pips, so it doesn't really matter the commissions. I have tight spread, so it doesn't make a huge difference for me. And I also use an Islamic account, so I don't have commission. How much you started? This was $100 account. After we're done with this, you can go and watch from where we started. If this was a 1K account, would be at 10K then. Not exactly, would be at 6K maybe. Let's see, we're already there. I think we're gonna come at least fill this range. I don't know how much time it's gonna take, but I'm gonna wait. Maybe it's gonna push down, I don't know. Based on what I see, it still has to continue up. 4 hour is a break and retest too. It can't get better than this. A 1 hour and 4 hour break and retest is the best thing possible. Let's see. I can move my stops at 20 pips just in case, but looks like we're gonna get done with it now. Perfect. 76 pips. Great. Which broker is the best? There are a lot of good brokers. There's Traders Domain. There's Pepperstone that I know of. IC Markets, I don't know about IC Markets. Lately, I haven't been using IC Markets. I've been using Pepperstone mostly. Never had problems with any of these brokers. And I'm gonna close everything. So, oh my god, we only need $4 here to go to 700. I'm gonna take a last trade here. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a trade here on the retest of this lever here. Let's see. Just to make this exactly 700, because I can't see this for $4. Not gonna let this here like this. Gonna go take this above 700. See, I'm gonna wait at least to where candles are closed at 140, right there. I'm gonna risk $100. See? Wow, that was quick. Okay, I'm gonna close now everything. Quick break and retest. People don't understand this strategy can change your life, and as account gets larger, you start losing bigger lots. Of course, it can change your life. I mean, this is simple way of trading. And good thing is that works every single day. You get a lot of break and retest on a daily basis. I mean, sometimes we can go without a trade in a day, but it doesn't matter. You need to learn also when to stay away from the market. So going a day without a trade means nothing. Okay, guys, thank you everyone for participating. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and it's been my pleasure to hold this session for me. I hope I answered some of your questions. I hope this as on a good way in your way of trading. I'm gonna have to go now, and thank you again everyone for being here, and take care. I'm gonna wait until tomorrow. I'm not gonna trade Asian, I'm gonna trade London session. So see you. Have a nice week today. Have a nice week today, tomorrow, and all other days. I hope you guys gonna have a great week. Thanks everyone. Thank you. London session. Yeah, maybe I'll do a live on London session. Stay ready. Maybe it's gonna be a surprise. See you guys. Thank you again. Thank you for your kind words.